Every state in North America has a legend of a Bigfoot-type creature. On the West Coast, it's Sasquatch. In Ohio, the Grassman. Florida, the Skunk Ape. In New Jersey, it's Big Red Eye. We're not about getting the highest ratings or most views. We made this series to share how expeditions truly are. Traveling across the eastern U.S., watch our journey as we search for the most elusive and intelligent animal in the world. There is no production crew, no directors. This is our real investigation. This is our search in the shadow of Big Red Eye. We're in Michaux State Forest, about 15 miles north of the Maryland line in south-central Pennsylvania. We got a late start, and it was unknown to my team that we had a third of a mile hike into camp. After 8 trips back and forth to bring all the camping and filming equipment to camp, we were all set up. Tomorrow, Jason from the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Investigations will be joining us.
We are in Michaux, don't really know how you say it, but we are in south central Pennsylvania in the 85,000 acre Michaux State Forest. We got a late start today, so we actually just got base camp set up, and it is now going on 10 o'clock. So that's a downer. It's me and John right now. We have a couple more people coming tomorrow. Unfortunately, the weather forecast is not the best for this trip, but we're gonna. Every outlet that we kind of saw was different, so we decided let's give it a shot. And the couple points to note is, as you can imagine, when I film this show, we have to bring a lot of equipment in. I think just off the top of my head, we have like 8 cameras, plus the batteries, charging stations. If you turn around, you can see the canopy tent, the tables to keep everything dry in case it rains. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. And because we have all that stuff, what we normally do is car camp, which I know a lot of people are gonna comment and say, oh, you're not really camping, you know, you can't get it in the wild, you can't find Bigfoot when you're car camping. Well, yes, you can, but we do that because if we didn't car camp, we couldn't film this show because the batteries die, we need to recharge in my vehicle. It just makes it very simple. But we got to our base camp today. It was about a 3.5-4 hour drive from where we are, and we pulled up into the campsite. Well, we tried to pull up in the campsite, but there's this big, large metal gate that's blocking the area, and we're about a half mile away from the car right now. So we had to haul everything into camp. That was fun. And that was right, we got here right as the sun was going down, had to set up our tents pretty much in the dark, and this is the first chance that I've had to actually film anything. Normally I like to do a time lapse of us setting up camp and stuff, but it was just been very hectic. So we finally got everything to camp, we're all set up, we're going to start a fire. We have a bear bag that we have to hang. Normally we just keep all of our smelly stuff in the car. However, since the car's far away, we're gonna have to find a tree to hang the bear bag from, which is gonna be fun to do in the dark. And then we got to set up our trail cams, and hopefully we're not too exhausted by then. We can't do something tonight. So we'll keep you updated. We're just gonna kind of put some final touches on camp and start that fire. And once that's going, we can kind of almost relax a little bit. So we're here starting the fire, and every time I go camping, I like to, I'm like pretty big into survival type of stuff, shelter building, primitive trapping, fishing, stuff like that. And I really am super into making, primitive fires. That means like fires with what you can make from the earth. There's a bunch of different types of ways you can make a fire. There's a friction fire, like a bow drill or a hand drill. That's probably one of my favorite ways to do it. You can use if it's daytime, you can use a magnifying glass and reflect the sun into the tinder. There's batteries. You can use a battery. If you have a fire starter, a magnesium fire starter, you can scrape off the magnesium and then light it that way with a spark. But since it's dark and late and it's getting a little chilly and I'm tired, what we're going to do is just use the door flame, because, I mean, door flame and a lighter, come on. There's no easier way to start a fire than a door flame and a lighter. Come on. Wow. When you're camping away from your car and you have smelly stuff with you, and you're in bear country, which we are now, it's imperative you have to hang a bear bag, which, unless you want to keep everything in your car, which unfortunately we don't want to do because it's a little too far away and I want my coffee tomorrow morning. So what we do is anything that smells, and that's anything. We have toothpaste, deodorant, all the food, the coffee for tomorrow, the energy drinks we have just in case we get a little tired, anything that could possibly smell needs to get hung in a bear bag. And the theory behind it is you hang it away from camp, and that way the bears, even though they can climb trees, they probably won't waste the effort to climb a tree to grab the bag. Again, I wouldn't put a stake in there, but as you can see, our bear bag is just my tent bag. But this is going to take me another 27 hours, so I'll update you as soon as I get this untangled, and by then the episode should be over. So, and
super nut.
This is what they use to go into space. There's nothing. This is the exact knot, actually.
That's the space knot.
Yeah, there's when you want to like attach the rocket boosters to the rocket ship. This is the exact one.
That's the one to use.
Yeah. No, and this is okay. So I'm working on that, right? Then I got this. Then I got this to do. Okay. Just gonna do that. Oh, look at that! First time. Come on. You can't. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, so I just impressed myself, to be quite honest. It's cool.
Once base camp was established, functional, and bear safe, we hustled in deploying our 3 trail cameras. Trail camera 1 was placed about halfway between our vehicle and base camp, facing the path to our camp to ensure we did not have any human visitors, which could ruin the integrity of our investigation. Trail camera 2 was placed on a trail heading up a mountain about half a mile behind our camp. Trail camera 3 was placed in a large open field which was next to our base camp.
What the heck is that in the woods?
What? Where?
I just noticed just by looking over, there's like
Whoa.
a box.
Is that like an outhouse, maybe? Oh, that's creepy. I don't know.
We're a little too deep for this.
I don't know.
Come on.
I mean, you can actually see where, through the floor, where you would go into, well, at least we know that if the time calls, we have a place to go to the bathroom. So that's a very good thing. So I just saw some eye shine. It was pretty low to the ground, so I don't think it was anything significant. So what I try to do when we go camping and we pick camping locations is it seems in my experience that if you're in a valley by water, you get the most activity. I don't know why. I don't know what's that about. I think the Bigfoot like to be above you so they can like kind of observe and look down, whatever. I don't know. Obviously no one's an expert on this, but I've just noticed what I've gotten in my experience, and if you're down in a valley by water, you have activity. And that's exactly where we are right now. We're I don't know if you can see the fire, but it's pretty significantly below us. And then we kind of walked up behind camp to try to find a place for the trail camera. We figured a place kind of somewhere right along here. And then I don't know if past experiences have meant anything, then that means hopefully we'll get some activity tonight. Alright, so we walked back out to the car because we forgot something. I'm going to take this time to do a call. I'm going to do 2 whoops. Good morning from base camp on day 2. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Had a nice sleep last night. Not too much to report, at least that I know of. Voice recorder did what was going all night. And apparently the mosquitoes here in Pennsylvania don't care if you have bug spray on. So there's that. Because I loaded up yesterday. So anyways, we're just kind of getting up and figuring out what to do today. It's supposed to rain, but we'll get it taken care of. It's actually pretty nice out right now. The coffee is on, and we'll update you, bless you, when we get going. With the camo pants there, John.
You going with camo pants?
Yeah. And you want to know what? I'm going to go with the camo boxers.
Camo boxers.
You want to know why? Because I'm intense right now.
Yeah? Come on. Come on. That deserved more of a laugh than that. Come on.
You are intense right now.
Yep.
Or intent right now.
I'm intent.
You're an intent person.
Yes, I am an intent person.
Oh man.
So we just had some unexpected visitors at camp. Not in the form of Bigfoot, but it's kind of cool.
I clicked it.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it.
Alright, it is day 2 of our expedition, and we are here with Jason from Pennsylvania Bigfoot Investigations. He's been out in Squatch with us before. Up
Yes,
in,
last year.
Where was that at? Moon Lake State Park in, what was the name of the...
outside of Sweet Valley, Pennsylvania.
Sweet Valley, right. And we did have some really cool activity there, and that's about 2 hours north of us, right? 2 or 3 hours north?
About 3 hours north.
3 hours north.
3 hours north.
So,
about 3 hours to get here.
So we're now down in south central Pennsylvania near the Maryland border, probably about 20 miles or so.
Yeah, about 20 miles.
From the Maryland border. And so Jason, you're the expedition organizer. You're the one that I came to kind of set up this expedition. What brought us here?
Well, actually, there was a USA Today article from 2012, and it was the 10 best places to walk in the shadow of Bigfoot. And our location right here in the, how do you want to say it?
We'll say Michaux.
Michaux State Forest was actually one of the top 10 best places to walk in the shadow of Bigfoot.
In North America.
In North America, not just Pennsylvania, North America. So that's why we're here. It's always been on my bucket list to get down here, so Mike's my excuse to get down here. And here we are. I've never had a sighting from down here. I've never got sent a sighting, but just the history of this area and the general, Bigfoot folklore, especially here in Pennsylvania, it's a place I've always wanted to check out, so here we are.
Now, speaking of that, there has not been any recent sightings from this park, I don't believe, right?
Not that I personally know of.
Right. Which is great, and that's kind of like a different kind of aspect of what what I like to do anyway. I kind of like to go where there's no sightings. I think that's more beneficial to bigfooting, because if there's sightings, if it's a hot spot, you're going to have more Bigfoot researchers going to that location, and you're going to find some more Bigfoot that are very scared of humans. Here, where there's not been any recent activity,
They might not know our tricks.
that's true. So hopefully tonight we'll be able to, I don't know, trick them and just get something. So there's definitely wildlife in the area. We walked last night just over that bridge there. There were, I'm not going to say hundreds, but there were, tens of frogs.
Right.
Just chilling, and I think I accidentally killed one because I scared it to death. I feel terrible. I think for tonight what we're going to do is just kind of stay around camp. I don't think there's any reason to go out into an area to hope that we might get a possible response when there's a higher probability of getting a Bigfoot sighting or vocalization here at camp.
Right, so tonight we're going to take on the role of educated campers.
Yeah.
And just be discreet in what we're doing, and hopefully something comes in to check us out.
Why don't we suit up and we'll do that?
And if you're wondering about the pink in the chair, it's my wife's chair.
No, it's not. He's just kidding.
It was the comfiest chair we had.
It's
so.
actually his chair. So. All right, so we're at this kind of like muddy little bottom area, creek, that's obviously dried up. You and Jason are going to go along this side of the creek. I'm going to go on the other side, just to see if we can find any signs of Bigfoot, any tracks or whatever. So the issue is getting across.
There's a log right there. Just walk the log.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea, but yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
there, but it looks like there's a trail that goes right here. Up on the trail. Mike, that got you far.
Huh?
That got you far.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh. Ooh. Yeah.
I think.
I think we want to look for like muddy tracks, and so we have that creek right there, but beyond that seems like it sounds like a pretty good flowing stream.
Right, so you want to cross it and head down that way.
Why don't we do that?
Okay. Let's go down
so-
here and instead of trying to.
Yeah, let's go down this way. And just leave my shoes and socks at camp if you could.
Sure.
There we go.
It's a good move. You'll be able to look left and right along the whole stream.
So if I can't make it, the word is going to be help. I'm going to yell help
Help.
really loud, and then hopefully you guys will come and find me. All right, so what we're going to do is there have been some historical sightings along this creek, so what I'm going to do is walk down the creek. I'm petrified of water. I can't swim. I don't like water I can't touch in. However, this looks kind of shallow and okay, I guess. So I'm just going to walk along it and hopefully we can find something. Alright, here we go. Oh, that's alright, so the water's a little chilly, not gonna lie, but that's fine. That's actually very cold. I don't know if this is a good idea, actually. So I gotta get through there. Huh. There we go. That's a little bit deeper than originally thought. Woo, that's cold. That's deep and cold.
So we are live on Facebook right now. We are out filming an investigation with our friends John and Mike from Sussex County Bigfoot, and you could see a stream running right here, and those two guys are down there in the creek in their bare feet on a Saturday afternoon trying to look for prints. Hey, how are you guys making out? Are you guys stuck?
That looks a little deep over there. So, stand. Whoa! Yeah, there's no way I'm getting through that. Alright. We need to abandon this mission real quick. That's our emergency tone. Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way.
It's so thick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's cold. It's a cold water.
That is some seriously cold water.
All right, let's get back to camp and so we can dry off and go on our second scouting. Where's camp compared to this?
While I stayed back at camp to warm up and dry off, Jason and John went up the hill behind camp to scout for the investigation tonight and to look for evidence. Not long after, they came across a possible trackway.
It almost looks like there's a toe there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, you put a foot next to it. It's huge.
Well, I mean, compared to, there's my foot. So it's about the size of my foot.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I don't see boot treads in there. I don't.
Yeah, no treads.
And you could see where, like, the toes, like, whatever it was, dug in right there.
It's different. Definitely different.
And I mean, I know it said on the thing, like, a multi-use trail, but I don't think it's a horseshoe print.
Just got a phone call requesting casting material for a possible print. So it's going to be up about a mile up this trail. And then, Jesus, in a little bit, so about a mile and a half away. So we are en route up there. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but because it's an anomalous large footprint, what we're going to do is cast it. I guess we'll see tomorrow what it is.
And you could see where that one broke, but the way these other ones are leaned on top of it, and I just felt it was weird.
We just walked up maybe, what, 50 feet from that track?
Yeah.
That we just casted. And, let's take a look at this a little bit closer. I didn't think of too much when I initially saw this, but that's actually kind of interesting. So we have...
When you look up the canopy, there's nowhere where...
Yeah, there's nothing
it could really
up top there.
Come down from.
Even if it did, so you have the bottom tree here is bent underneath this large tree, which obviously came
if this
from there.
tree came,
that's fine.
and fell down, and it bent it, but where this top one
The top one, I don't know where that came from.
I don't know where that one came from.
But even still, we have this interesting tree coming that way up top, and then it's broken.
Yeah.
That goes down in between the other tree that's below it. This could be something. You know, it's just like the track. I don't know what it is, but it's. I mean, I would have loved to been here for the storm that did this, because that's super interesting. And even if you look, let's go. Let me go in the other side here. So there's two trees that obviously came down with that guy, okay? Right. But now they are crisscrossed right here and interwoven beneath the tree that came down, which isn't out of the ordinary. However, now you got more trees on top of that, and again, this branch couldn't have came from anywhere up top, so that was, I mean, I would assume was placed there along with that one right there. So I mean, you got two parallel things there. I don't know. This is,
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, you got me. It's
I mean, I just thought it was weird coming from where we just casted it and being, you know,
it's definitely the place.
50 feet up the trail, you know, off to the side.
Yeah, I mean, you could see there's a majority of the trees here. Well, and a majority of the saplings and small trees here, you could see the snow load has, you know, obviously pushed them over one way, but they're not going to. I don't know. They're not going to get pushed over and on top and intermingled like we saw in the last example. So I don't know. We'll see. This is definitely going to be a place for our night investigation tonight. We're probably about 300 feet above base camp, pretty much straight below it or above it.
So we're heading back up to where earlier John and I found some wonky looking tracks and a weird looking tree stuff. So we're going back to check our casting and see how it looks and if it looks like anything once we take it out. And what stinks about this is it's uphill. And as a Bigfoot investigator, you never like uphill.
You know, I think it's just it comes down to being lazy.
Wildcat trail. Oh. Let me get the live all set up here.
Or whatnot, but come in.
Hold on.
It was different.
You're filming this too, John?
Yep. It was different. It wasn't something.
Yeah, it was different. It was.
It wasn't deer. It wasn't bear.
Yeah,
wasn't...
we're not sure if it was a large deer, maybe a double bear print, but it was something walking along the trail that caught my eye at least. Enough to cast it. How's it looking, Mike? Is it solid?
It's solid. However, I know when I casted this, it wasn't as deep as it should have been. Yeah, it's a very delicate process. Hydrocal takes about 2 to 3 hours to set, and this is a hydrocal print.
So, for people watching, what's the difference between hydrocal and plaster of Paris?
Oh, it's very simple. Plaster of Paris is your very simple over-the-counter type of thing that you can buy and that's to make school projects. You know, hydrocal you can get for pretty much the same price, and that's actually like legitimate. What if you're like a CSI person or whatever, this is what they use. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we got the cast removed. It's not the cleanest one that I've ever seen. Yeah. This actually may be a Bigfoot. What we have here is you do have a mid-tarsal break, which does signify a human. However, you get the size, and the size is very interesting. You also, one of the things that I was kind of concerned about before we casted this was the two, you didn't have 5 toes, you had 2
Right, we had
toes.
2 like weird toe looking, which we thought was maybe a large deer, but
So we're going to have to look at that when we,
get it cleaned up a little bit.
yeah. But this is cool because this is what bigfooting is all about. It's all about, you know, trying to find stuff that may not be, I don't know, right, may not be normal, may not be accurate, I don't know. So that's what this is, and we're going to bring it back to camp and try to clean it off just a little bit, just to see if there's anything here. We are literally in the middle of nowhere. Just because it has a
excuse me.
just
Thank
because it has the pollen is terrible out here. Yep.
Gosh.
Bless you.
There it is again. Just because it has a
Thank you.
mid-tarsal break doesn't mean that it's, I mean, it's blatantly obvious here. I don't know if you could see on this, but it's blatantly obvious that it has a mid-tarsal break
Right,
here.
right there where you have.
Yeah, it's, I mean, and that would show that because it does have a mid-tarsal break that it's human. However,
So we definitely rolled out it being a large deer.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Once we get it cleaned off, and once we get it, you know, back to my shop or whatever, and we can actually clean it off and see truly what it is, then we can determine what it is. But I do think this is one solid print, and I do think it's a humanoid something that made this. I don't know anything further than that. I don't know if you can see. It's super interesting. At sometime soon.
Is that my Bob?
Yeah, that's your Bob.
Okay.
Let me try to.
Sorry.
Mike, John, and Jason from the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Investigations are in south central Pennsylvania where they just cast and lifted a possible Bigfoot print from near base camp. As night falls, they suit up for their final night investigation.
Look at him. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There we go. So what are we going to do tonight?
I think what our plan is, me and John are going to hike up over the mountain, and you're going to stay back here at base camp and kind of hang out and We're going to make some vocalizations back and forth, maybe some knocks back and forth, see if anything comes in and checks us out, anything comes in and checks you out, if we get a response to anything. So we're probably going to hike up and around the mountain the same path that we followed today. I'm thinking do a loop around and see if anything's out there.
Beautiful. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Well, that screws us up.
Well,
There goes that plan.
that just ruined our entire night investigation. That's nice.
Are the woods that popular around here? Come on.
Well, I honestly think that makes a great scene.
Yeah, sure it does. That's not what I'm going for tonight, though. I want to get some Bigfoot activity.
Do you think it would be better after that if we hung out down here, and if they're causing a ruckus up there, it's going to force stuff down here?
Welcome to Bigfooting with Mike Famelant. This is not anything out of the ordinary. Whether it's rain, snow,
Pizza.
there's, I mean,
So, basically the quads went blasting up this way about 10 minutes ago. So we're going to see if anything kind of came back out after they left. So we're kind of trying to follow them and catch anything that might have came back out off guard.
Makes sense.
Because I think the last thing they would expect would be for us to come walking up the hill.
After something like that went by.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to try and knock. Mike knows it's coming. I'm going to try this thinner tree right here. Usually the thinner trees make a little bit better noise. Alright, I'm going to yell back to him.
Okay. Did you hear that?
No, what'd you hear?
Towards Mike to the right, I heard some sort of noise. Like a... It sounds like a bunch of people at a pool. Like a party, but like deliberate.
I think we might be at our highest point. Was that your echo?
I think it was. Mike didn't respond. Didn't he say he was going to respond? There he is.
No, I heard people talking over there.
So did I. To the left. There was like noises.
To the left. But listen, after John let out his whoop, before you returned yours, I heard the voices John was saying. It sounded like people talking to our left.
Every time we do a whoop, I feel like people can hear it at their homes, at their...
But there's no homes around here. Not right over in, you know.
Good point.
Not right over in.
So there's no way I'm hearing someone on their deck.
No, because we walked to the other side of the mountain through the path right there. You know?
Yeah. That was nuts.
After a careful review of the audio from Jason and John's night hike revealed that no voices or other vocalizations were captured on the camera, which doesn't surprise me, as the camera's microphone is not the best. What we do know is that two individuals heard what they described as soft talking and in direct response to my vocalizations. Although highly unlikely, we cannot rule out humans in this situation, especially because neither the base camp audio recorder nor the camera microphone picked anything up. After analyzing both nights of audio from the audio recorder, nothing unexplainable was heard.
So, let's see, this is safekeeping for the track. We have not looked at it since the expedition. This was last week. And here we go. This is the track that we found. It's a little ambiguous to say the least. However, here's what it is. This obviously, when it comes to casting, this is the side that's down. You can kind of see how it's a little, as Jason would say, wonky. So we're going to start cleaning it off. I have a bucket of water down here, so I'm just going to submerge it and get all the external stuff off. All the external dirt, and then we're going to go into actually cleaning it. So I have this wire toothbrush, or not toothbrush, if this was a toothbrush, I mean maybe for a Bigfoot, but just going to start very superficially, not hard at all. Again, this is wire, so you don't want to go hard. This hydrocal is really good material, so it's not going to, you're not going to ruin the track by doing this wire brush on it. But we just want to loosen up all, I'm getting that all over my phone, all the stuff. So this is what we have after that. So you can see obviously it's much better than it was. Now we're going to do this big brush here. And we're just going to, more water the merrier. So the final step here, and that just got, you can see it's much better than it originally was. This is, looking at it now, it's not the best cast in the world. Finally, what I'm going to do is take my toothbrush, not the same one I use every morning and night. Very important to brush twice a day. Just kind of get in the little crevices here and really see if we can't clean it out any better. Just to, and the reason why we clean it like this is you want to get the details out of it. This cast is, if you guys remember to when we were casting it, it was very, it was on an incline, as the bottom of the track was kind of lower than the top of the track, which caused the, you can see how thin it is. It was not the easiest track that I've ever casted before. But, needless to say, if there's a will, there's a way to get it done. Okay, so it's cleaned for the most part. So let me show you what we're working with here. So we have, this is, obviously our casting. Let's take a measurement on it, just so everybody can see. I'm going to put it down right on the table right here. From the heel to the toe is 11 inches. So that is totally not outside of human range. But what we got are some distinguishing features here, which, let's see, we got a stick actually in the mold, which is kind of cool. There's two things that stand out to me on this cast, and it's going to be hard to see on the camera, but right up here is, you have two distinguished, separated marks, and this would be where the toes are, and that's not significant when it comes to a person or a Bigfoot. You could see, I mean, that goes down pretty significantly in the casting there, and that was kind of initially what I saw when I walked up to it. Was this kind of is a little funky looking. Bigfoots do have toe splay, which is on a casting is humans wear socks and shoes their entire life, for the most part. So their feet and their footprint is going to be kind of close together. Bigfoots don't have that option, so their footprints are going to be wider apart, and you're going to see what we call toe splay in the between the toes. That could be considered toe splay. However, I don't see any other. If this was the big toe, I don't see where there's any other even marks that would show that there's any other toes. The other issue that I see with this cast is right in here, this mid-tarsal break. Humans have mid-tarsal breaks, however, Bigfoot do not. I don't even think that's a mid-tarsal break, to be quite honest with you. Just looking at this track superficially, it was obviously an ambiguous indentation in the ground, and I've looked at a lot of tracks, and I can't tell you what this is, but I don't think it's a Bigfoot, to be 100% honest with you. And I don't think it's a human either. I don't know what this is, to be honest. I just don't know. But like I said, what is it? I don't know. I don't think it's a person. I don't think it's a Bigfoot. But what matters is that we found something ambiguous on the grass in the middle of nowhere, or in the dirt in the middle of nowhere, and we casted the print. And that's really all you can do when it comes to Bigfoot research. We took pictures of it. Scale items were in the pictures. We took pictures of where the track was headed, where it came from, and that's all super important when you do find a print.
Pennsylvania, specifically Michaux State Forest, is highly underrated when it comes to the possibility of a Sasquatch inhabiting the area. There is no shortage of food, water, and shelter. Although all of the evidence we collected this trip was inconclusive, that may be for the best. After all, Michaux State Forest may actually be an undiscovered current hotspot for Bigfoot activity, and if that's the case, I'm sure that they wouldn't want a ton of people coming to look for them, or worse. Signing off, I'm Mike Famlott for In the Shadow of Big Red Eye.